thought. We want you to tell us the answer.
The answer to what?
The answer to life, the universe, everything.
You can't handle the truth!
Self-destruct sequence has been activated.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Now, here's Chris and Christian.
This sequence may not be aborted. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated.
Hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristen. Hello, everyone.
Thank you for listening. This is episode 4.
Yes.
Yeah. I do have one lined up. That's kind of going to be like my backup one if we ever can't.
He's already losing me as a partner.
Well, no, it's always good to have backup. I'm a Boy Scout.
Right?
I always come prepared. Even earlier, right when we were getting set up for the show, I broke the microphone stand.
Yeah, on purpose, I think.
And wouldn't you know, 3 feet away, I have a replacement. It's good to be a hoarder sometimes because whenever, if you ever watch Hoarders and the people like,
yeah. Most of the time they have like 10 dead cats under their couch, didn't know.
One day I may need that. Well, see, right now when I broke the microphone stand, I got another one 3 feet away. It's the
so
beauty
far,
of...
I haven't seen or smelled anything dead, so
no dead cats.
You're not a complete hoarder, not yet.
Basically, we're doing today's show on May the 1st. It's May Day.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo's coming up.
Totally
just thought of that.
This week is going to be the best week ever. Okay, first and foremost, it's May 1st. Tomorrow, the 2nd, and it's not 100% confirmed yet, and I'm waiting for the email, and I shouldn't be talking about other people's podcasts. But my book, Double Jackpot, should be getting a... endorsed by Kevin Smith and his wife Jennifer Schwalbuck on the Smodcast, the Smodco morning show. Costs $500 to get it advertised, and the site will redirect people to our podcast. So hopefully we'll get some more.
Big shot over here.
Some more listeners, and
that's exciting.
Now, just this morning on May 1st, 6:30 in the morning, I'm half asleep. I sent out about 150 emails to people that were fans of Kevin Smith's podcast.
So check your email, everyone.
And I'm assuming anyone who's listening to the show now is probably someone who's gotten an email right now. But so
forward it.
Now the one thing I noticed was because Kevin Smith just did a show in Australia,
right?
And so a lot of the people that were tweeting him in the past couple of days have been Australian. So we're probably
big in Australia.
We're probably talking right now to a bunch of people on the other side of the planet, and I want to say welcome.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
Good
I mean,
day,
you're probably
mate, right?
Us ignorant Americans.
We don't Foster's. We like
don't
Foster's
talk
beer.
like that.
We like Foster's beer.
Well, one thing about Australia now, because of the internet, I used to be buddies with a bunch of guys from Australia, and now I haven't been on a real vacation in a long time. I mean, other than like Vegas a couple of years ago.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count. I want to go to Australia.
You've never gone? I would love to. I know a few that have gone there for studied abroad in college, and their pictures look amazing. I'm like, I wish I did that. I never took advantage of it. So if you're in college, take advantage of any study abroad things because they look awesome.
Before life sucks you in and makes you get a real job.
Before you graduate and there's nothing else going on, do it while you're in school. Get it over with.
And growing up in New York City, becoming of drinking age, I've met Australians who've come to the United States,
right.
Come to New York, and I've never met an Australian that I hadn't had fun with.
Right. Oh, they know how to party.
Oh, they have.
They know what's going on.
And the men and the women now, and of course, I hope I'm not insulting anybody. Well, the women, even
I'm right next to
I know what I was gonna say. Even the ugly women are still fun. And I'm not
I
even
like American ugly women.
Well, yeah, American ugly women have an attitude,
yeah.
and they don't,
they're like bodyguards for the hot friend. Like,
stand
in the way.
Yeah, we got to go home, girl.
All right, it's time.
We got to go home. We came together.
I'm the driver. Yeah.
We're gonna leave together.
Let's go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no, Australian women. The Australian women that I've met,
They probably don't know they're ugly. That's
even the ones. Well, that because I guess maybe it's the culture over there. I like it. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
Every Australian that I've ever met has
know how to
been
live life.
very fun. And don't get me wrong. The guys I used to talk to online, I mean, the guys, those guys were more like nerds that were,
What are you doing finding men online?
Well, no, it's. I used to belong to this. Well, actually, I still do. It was way before MySpace and Facebook.
Okay.
It was called LiveJournal.
Okay.
And it was
like the beginning. Of
it was like, of social network. Oh no, I go back. I've been using computers like since day one. Where back in the day, it used to be called BBSs.
What's that?
BBS was called Bulletin Board System. Now, how this used to work, and I'm not even kidding.
Is this on LiveJournal or before?
No. This is. I'm
like
talking about before the
first
internet.
One? Oh, okay.
Before the internet, there was this thing called BBSs. And God, I'm going to go into a real nerdy rant here. Well, basically, your computer would only call one other person's computer.
Okay.
If you ever watched like movies from the 80s, I mean, this is when I grew up, where the person actually had like a phone that you put the phone on the cradle, and it would call somebody else's computer, and that that person, their computer is almost like an answering machine. After like 3 rings, it would actually pick up.
Okay.
And then your computer would communicate with them. Now, the cool thing back then was you would share files, like. When you called their computer, you basically had control of their computer.
Okay.
So you can go, you can see the files they have, and of course at that time it was always it was
much.
all nudie pictures, and it took you 10 hours to download,
a boob.
one photo,
Yeah.
and
you waited all day for that photo.
Oh God, and the funny thing was like it was like back then like the super very basic version of Photoshop. Because I remember in particular, like someone had like a Dolly Parton nude photo, which it wasn't nude; it was someone put Dolly Parton's head on a chesty woman's body.
Yeah.
And, so even back then, there were nudie pictures.
Photoshop was already going on.
And so you would call. Now, then what happened was everybody had a list on their computer. There was one text file, which everyone had on their computer, which had the phone numbers of everyone they called.
Oh, okay.
So then you would get that file, and then you would call those numbers. And it spread out like a web. I call you, you call them, they call me, and, and that's how the quote-unquote network started. And then, like, the very first computers that actually, was actually made for people to sign up for and join was, like, CompuServe. There was this thing called
I remember that. My
CompuServe.
friend had that and be like, welcome to CompuServe.
And you would go into the chat rooms and so
AOL.
Yeah, then AOL, back when you used to get the AOL discs in the mail, and they would send you, like, it was, like, 5 mini diskettes to install AOL. And
I still see that on some old people's computers. I'm like, come on with the AOL. Just go to Yahoo, Google, bump it up a little bit. Yeah.
You're gonna laugh. I still have my AOL address. I still have.
Is that your email?
Well,
like
no,
AOL.com?
that's not my main email, but I still maintain it. Like whenever I have to sign up for like garbage and junk mail and stuff like that, I put my old AOL, and I literally
email me anytime.
Yeah, and I check it. I swear to God, I don't check my mail for like every 3 months. And then the funny thing is that like I'll actually come across some of my friends, Eric, who will still send me stuff.
Hint.
That'll still send me stuff. Like I think he might be mass mailing, and my name is still on.
There,
but it's like here's pictures of my kids,
and, something important.
And I understand, and I'm like, but dude, I haven't used that email in like 15 years, but I still I maintain
updated it in 15 years.
Yeah, I said whenever I send you email, it's from one account. Why are you mailing? But I think he kind of just like does that thing where you like send to all people in his contacts.
You have it all in there, yeah.
So, I go back when it comes to like computers going online and stuff like that.
Well, I was watching this great movie the other day, classic, Weekend at Bernie's.
Wow.
I haven't seen it in years, and I watched it the other day, and it's still hysterical, especially if you haven't seen it in a while. And they had in the beginning, remember those old printers where the sheet would be like, I don't even know how big that was.
And it had the holes on the side.
And the holes on the side. You just see him like printing off and like folding it, and that was like his printing. I was like, oh my God, remember that? And just to think you had to work like that. Like he had all these like pages to go through. Like, oh, that's brutal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look at all these numbers. Like, ooh.
And I remember like you were the coolest if you had that program that made the big letters so you could put the paper sideways, like happy birthday, Jeff.
You have a big banner going. Yeah. Especially if you got colored ink. Oh, you were hoity-toity if you had
Well,
that.
see, I used to make those banners at my mom's job.
Nice.
Because I couldn't afford that shit at home.
So you had to. It was like a cover up. Like
I
what I mean.
I would go. Yeah, I like. My mom, and mind you, my mom worked at the hospital, which was like she was a cashier at a hospital, and it was like the hospital itself was under New York City. It was called the Health and Hospitals Corporation, but it was like my mom's paycheck came from the city.
Okay.
Oh, but hey,
so you wasted
the
a lot
city's
of
paying.
paper.
So yeah, I had all types of banners.
You're
Happy
probably
birthday.
like, we need this paper. Where is it going? And
Government spending.
it's all over your wall. Happy birthday. And a lot of birthdays that year.
Yeah. Oh, everybody. I made a banner for everybody. Had
Just
a
that
folder.
year was really, really crazy for banners.
Living large with the freaking perforated holes.
Yeah, and then you had to peel it off.
Oh, that
and
was
then you could
was
always
half
ruin
the
it, though.
fun.
Yeah, but then if it went wrong, and then you would cut the banner on accident. Things could go crazy. It could ruin your
Or
day.
it would load funny, and
Yeah.
at the end of the thing that actually was supposed to go into the holes would actually chew up the paper.
See, it could always ruin your day. It's 50-50 chance.
Yeah, I think I kind of he puts it under his arm. Like
Yeah,
it's
at the
a stack
beginning,
of papers.
I don't even know what his job is, but he's like Wall
he was like an
Street.
accountant or something like that. And
Bernie's insurance company.
And
That's
those,
what it
I
was.
remember that was called a dot matrix printer. That's Jesus. That's how old I am. It was called a dot matrix.
Would you stop? Just stop. If you know something, just keep it to yourself from now on.
I have all this useless information that I have to get out of my head. So about being a nerd, once again, this week is going to be one of the best weeks ever.
For nerds.
For nerds. On Friday, on Friday we have the Avengers coming out. And also, that's May the 4th. May the 4th is also the official Star Wars Day.
That's official?
Officially Star Wars Day because...
And what happens on
Because
that
it's
day?
May the 4th be with you.
Good
Like,
God.
instead of May the 4th be with you,
I got
May
it.
the 4th be with... May 4th is officially...
You, Trekkies,
Star
really
Wars.
think into this.
Well, no, hey, Trekkies is a whole other franchise.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
And-
I'm sorry. I take it back. I
and
know
look-
I offended somebody out there with that.
Well, like I said,
You
I'm one of
nerd.
the few nerds where I love Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
But if you call a Star Wars,
yeah.
you call a different Star Wars nerd a Trekkie,
I'm sorry. I totally crossed the
he's
line
gonna
there.
pull out his lightsaber.
Yeah, right. Literally. He probably will
What
have
you
one.
say to me?
Yeah. Take it back.
You'll not miss me.
So, how long has that been official?
May the 4th. I know. I've been.
How long have you been celebrating?
I've been celebrating May the. Now, mind you, like I don't even go to church, but I'll celebrate. I'll celebrate the
That's a
Force.
commitment there, yeah.
May the 4th. I
As I'm
probably
looking
known
at your
about
Star
it.
Wars mug.
Yeah, I have right in front of me. I have a Stormtrooper mug. And then what happened was it dropped and I broke the handle off of it actually it's kind of oddly shaped, so you really couldn't even use it as a coffee
Yeah,
mug.
it looks. Yeah,
But
it's not natural.
I plan on using it to hold pens if I ever get a desk one day.
Someday, see, he's always prepared.
I'm always
Back
prepared.
to the Boy Scouts.
It's a broken mug, but one day it will hold
One
pens.
day.
See, that's the beauty of being a hoarder is that you get to repurpose items like broken coffee mugs can always be pen holders.
For that desk job.
And it's pretty cool. It's a Stormtrooper.
It's cool. It looks like a toy.
And the funny
from
thing
here.
is, I actually have a bigger one than that. I have
course.
down in the basement. I have a Darth Vader mug.
Nice.
I have a Darth Vader cookie jar.
Nice.
I
What
have
about a mask? I could see you in a mask.
I had like the bogus mask that you could get for like
Little
$10 in the
plastic
store. Trust me, if I had the money, I would have like the official like $80, $100.
Heavy on the face.
It's the it's like comes in two pieces where one piece goes over your head and the other piece actually
Wow.
latches onto the back.
So
But
you've looked into it.
oh, of course, yeah, of course I've looked into it. I just don't have the
Does it
disposable
come with like a
income.
voice changer?
Well,
That
recently, they do kind of have cheaper ones that kind of fit like that one.
Okay.
That do have a voice changer where it's the box and they have a loop that hangs around your neck so it sits on your chest.
Okay.
So like you could always be like a cheap Darth Vader, like because all you need is the helmet, the voice box, and a black shirt,
Yeah.
black pants, and a cape. And the cape.
I want the real deal. I don't want something cheap.
Oh,
You're not real.
like, there's those guys, who dress up, and there's actually they call themselves the 501st, and it's guys who dress up like stormtroopers, but they go
like the conventions. right?
they go to
Yeah.
the conventions, and
At least there's a place for them to go.
but they do charity work, and that's
Okay.
the funny thing, and I've learned, and it's funny because I get it from my father also, because my father's a biker. you can organize any kind
Anything.
of group of people as long as you do something for a charity
Right.
event. Like I said, my father.
Hell's Angels.
My father's a biker, my father's not in Hell's Angels, but he's done runs with the Hell's
Right.
Angels, where a lot of these clubs, motorcycle clubs, and of course, the media always portrays that there's gang wars and all this
Drug
stuff.
dealing
For all
and
intents
all
and
that
purposes,
stuff, right.
well, no, they're still doing illegal
Well,
activity, but they get along.
yeah.
Motorcycle clubs, for all intents and purposes, generally get along with each other because there's money to be made. However you
Right.
make it, you're selling drugs, you're running guns, you're doing whatever you do.
Anything illegal.
But but the funny thing is that every couple of months they'll do a toy run or they'll do something.
And they usually do. I know, like a lot. Like they all get together and do like around here that 9/11 run.
They do
Like
the
they come
9/11.
up here and then they go all the way down.
They
south.
drive all the way to Washington D.C. They go to the
Yeah.
wall. And my father's
They
done
do
that.
all the spots in Pennsylvania there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They do. Yeah. The 9/11. Well, I know. Like they have. Like the. They have. I'm sorry. I got a little distracted. They have. Any reason.
What is it? What do they have?
Well, they'll have the one where they go to the parts of
Right.
where the crashes of 9/11. They have one where they'll go. I know the Vietnam veteran ones. They'll go down
Right.
to the Vietnam Memorial Wall and
So they do
Washington,
all
D.C.
get together and
In the Christmas
one
time, they do
cause,
the
yeah.
Toys for Tots. So, and it's the same thing like the Star Wars.
it's the same thing.
One thing is if you organize a charity, you
can do whatever you want.
You can get away with
We should start
and that's the whole thing
a
is
group.
a group, yeah.
In quotes.
It's they could justify their meeting and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, they're a bunch of nerds, but well, one, I'm too fat to be a stormtrooper. I would, and plus, I don't want to
could we
be
do
a
without
stormtrooper. Is so corny.
What would be your ultimate? Who would you want to be?
I mean, I want to be Darth Vader, but I'm
Okay,
also a
that's your ultimate.
I'm also a shrimp. I'm like
You can't win.
I'm 5'7.5". I'm just short 5'8".
What about that little? Oh, you're gonna hate me with the
Like-
names. R2D2.
R2.
Is that the little white one?
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
white robot. I don't know.
Fit you in one of those. Waddle around a little bit.
Well, I mean, I would love to be Darth Vader. Well, the funny in the movies, there's this fat, there's this rebel fighter. He's dressed the same way Luke Skywalker is that when they fly the X-wings, and his name is Porkins.
There you go.
And he's
There's
a fat guy with a beard.
Oh my god.
And so at least God bless George Lucas that he actually put a fat guy in the movies. Just
wanted to include everyone.
so
Little Porkins.
We'll always have Porkins.
Oh my god. That's awful.
Because
And they named him Porkins.
and his name is Porkins. Stay on. And then he dies. But he dies protecting
Chivalry.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
He dies protecting Luke Skywalker,
Okay,
so it's
thank
okay.
God. He's like the Secret Service.
But I mean-
Protecting Luke.
But I.
Well, what about,
But
you
see-
ever seen Spaceballs?
Oh, but see, I
think I see it over there, Spaceballs.
I
I
have-
see all his DVDs.
I have DVDs now. I have like Spaceballs. I have like Spaceballs, the 20th anniversary edition. Downstairs in my basement, I have Spaceballs on VHS.
Oh, nice.
I love Spaceballs.
Who's that? When they had, what is his name?
Barf.
Mel Brooks. Barf. Yeah, you could be Barf.
And I could be Barf. And actually, I went online and somebody actually was Barf. I've
That's
seen like
awesome.
2 people dressed like Barf, and I would do Barf.
That's just an awesome name.
Barf.
I'm Barf.
Well, it's short for Bartholomew.
Right. Who's the other one? I think Mel Brooks played him. Schwartz be with you. Yeah, what's his
Yogurt.
name? Yogurt. That's it. Like you could
Schwartz.
be that little guy.
Yogurt.
You want to be Barf though.
Well, Barf is because it's John Candy.
Barf is a cool thing.
I could be Barf.
Pizza the Hut.
Oh, come on! That's an insult.
I'm trying to help you out. What do you could be? The best part was that little alien at the end. He just comes out of, I think it's Barf's stomach, or is
No! Whoa! That he goes, "Hello, my baby."
Hello, my baby.
Oh no! Actually, he comes out of.
Or is it the other one?
It's
What's his name?
It's not Lone Star. It's not.
Oh, it's
the
just some random guy.
It's a guy. They're in the diner.
The diner,
and those
I
guys.
don't feel good.
Well, they made those guys were supposed to be the crew from Alien, or
Okay.
Aliens, and
Barf and Lone Star.
and I've seen Spaceballs so many times. Like I've seen Star Wars that I can quote.
Here we go.
I could quote
Isn't
Spaceballs.
like Joan Rivers
Well,
in it.
And who's the name of the robot?
I don't
And you know
know.
what the robot's name is?
I don't know his real name, and I don't know the fake one. He's the gold guy.
Well, no, yeah,
Sorry.
it's C-3PO.
Okay.
But
okay.
do you know what the name of the robot is in Spaceballs?
No.
Dot Matrix.
Oh God!
See,
of course.
it all comes
back.
All comes back together. I swear to God, the name is Dot Matrix. Who coincidentally? Well, Joan Rivers did the voice, but she wasn't the person inside the suit. The person inside the suit was.
How do you know? I wouldn't even. Okay.
Well, because I'm a nerd.
You looked into it.
There was a famous mime.
Oh, here we go. He's
Marcel.
gonna be on our show next week.
Marcel Marceau. I don't know if you ever heard of, and like whenever you watch mimes, like Marcel Marceau was like the king
He's
mime.
the
He's like the
mime?
person that invented miming
Where does he live?
in France. I'm pretty sure
That's
it's
what I
France.
would figure with that name.
And I think the girl that was in the suit was like his partner, like the guy who
His
invented
miming
miming.
partner?
Yeah, the guy who invented miming, his partner, who like the funny thing is like even though that movie was like in '86, she was already like in her 40s or 50s. She wasn't
Oh,
young.
okay.
And she was playing Dot Matrix because they needed someone really thin to be in that suit.
So
And how do I know
who
this?
better to go to but a mime's partner? That's what I would think of too. Now, who was in the little robot?
Well, the little robot in Star Wars was Kenny Baker. His name is R2D2 was a. Now they actually had a midget inside.
Inside,
And,
okay.
well, excuse me, little person. You
Yes,
can't say
yes.
midget's like
We don't need to offend anyone.
Well, this like they want to be called dwarves,
There's so many names they want to be called.
and I would assume dwarf is more of an insulting
Insult,
name because
right.
because like a dwarf. When I think of dwarf, I think of like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Hobbit-like almost.
Yeah, dwarves are things that don't exist.
Right.
So you want me to call you something that doesn't exist? Like like
The Seven Dwarfs. Like
a
those
midget.
things.
I don't understand. Someone please explain to me where midget became a derogatory term. Like
Somebody got offended. I don't know.
like at least other derogatory terms that people say for people. There's a history.
There's
you know what I'm
there's something
saying.
behind
This
it.
this meant something else, and that's why these
So
people
what
are
are they
offended.
actually like? Little person?
They like
Tiny?
little person and
Tiny.
dwarves.
Dwarves.
Vertically
The breed of
challenged.
the tiny.
And then plus little person too, because little, and without sounding punny, it diminishes you. It's
Right.
like to call you a little person. That's like saying you're not a person.
Right.
And a dwarf, like, is the same thing. When I think of dwarf, I think
not
of
real.
of a fictional mythical character. Why would you want to
We
be
need to have
called?
a dwarf or whatever they want to be called on the show, and then we'll have this discussion and see what they really like to be called.
That's like
What doesn't offend them?
don't call me this. Call me a unicorn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
We're gonna come up with something.
a
to call
unicorn
me
is
that.
a thing of fantasy. I don't. So now, of course, I've mentioned Jesus Christ. I've mentioned Spaceballs, Lord
Do
of the
you
Rings,
know
Star Wars.
Who played E.T.?
Actually, the
look
funny
like
thing
you
is,
know
I
something.
don't know the name of the person who played
Oh,
E.T.
okay.
But the person was actually an actor. Well, it was a person who had no legs.
Oh,
So when you see E.T. walking,
was it just like the body?
now imagine a person walking on their hands,
Right,
who
okay.
had like no legs whatsoever.
Oh.
That's how E.T. walked. Now the
So it's just upside down.
no. The
they're walking
E.T.'s
on
body,
the-
they're walking on the legs, but like remember E.T.'s feet were kind of like right in the
Yeah.
front of him.
Right, true.
So
I'm trying to think of them.
here's this person who's like E.T. has got to be like one of the largest grossing movies
Yeah.
in history.
E.T.'s a big star.
And the star of the movie, who for all intents and purposes is a handicapped person,
Yeah.
you never see that person on TV.
I know. They,
You know,
they didn't walk the red carpet for the premiere.
Palm the red carpet.
Yeah, they didn't bomb it.
But that's it blows my mind that
Get on a skateboard.
that person is one of the biggest movies of all time, yet never really
revealed
came
themselves.
public. Well, then again, I think like probably Steven Spielberg probably gave him like a fat check and
Yeah,
said, "Look,
like, all right, good luck with life.
Well, no, but it's like like look, stay low key because it is. I mean, who knows? Maybe. Well, I don't know. It's hard to really act when you're in this whole latex suit, but
Yeah, that must not have been comfortable.
yeah, other obviously parts were
They're probably she
were
probably could have
puppeteered.
sued for bad working conditions.
Well, no, hey,
They're shoving me in this suit.
if the money that
Yeah,
that
exactly.
movie made, I'm pretty sure Steven Spielberg probably gave that person a nice fat check. Who they're not complaining at all. You
Shut your
you
mouth,
give me
yeah.
that kind of money, you could stuff me in a latex suit, and
I'll take it any day. Great movie though.
yeah. Oh my god.
1982.
In 1982, I remember seeing it when That was before you were born.
I know.
You were born.
I wasn't even thought of.
You were 80. You were born 86. Okay,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, and it blows my mind to like I remember 86. You know what I'm saying? Like I Jesus Christ, I think I have a Nintendo. Oh no, shit. Well, I don't have it anymore because it's in my old. I have an original Nintendo that's technically older than you. Well, not anymore, but it was in my old house. You know. So I remember, and you know, I grew up on the Lower East Side, and I went to this place called Essex Theater. Now, Essex Theater back in the day was like the most ghetto, fabulous theater on the planet. It was like they didn't enforce. Like you could sit in Essex Theater all day and watch the same movie all day. It only had one screen.
Nice.
And you had to go down into the basement to go to the bathroom. You had to cross this big, long, empty basement that nothing was there.
Doesn't sound sketchy or anything.
Except this like checkerboard. I remember the tiles were checkerboard, and you would walk, and mind you, it's big, it's empty, it's underground. So like you would walk, and you would hear your footsteps echo.
Right.
So it was like a horror movie.
Yeah.
You know, and the funny thing is that place was notorious for giving like horror flicks and kung fu flicks. And
it's like you're there.
And then
it's like you're in the movie.
And the bathroom, you know, I can only imagine how people were doing in that bathroom, having sex, doing drugs.
No.
You know, and then I'm a little kid.
That wouldn't happen.
Oh. I was a little kid, and I remember, because Jesus Christ, I remember, like, when the movie tickets, and I'm not even exaggerating, were probably like $2.50 or
those must have been the days.
Yeah, you know.
Now what is it? It's like at least $9 at least.
It's like $11 now, if not more.
I don't even think like they even give like the matinees. You know how they used to take off a few. I don't even know if they do that anymore.
Yeah, they don't.
Like it's probably at $9 if you wanted to go for a matinee. And
$11 normal.
That's
$9.
not giving you a deal. Like really, now you want me to go in and buy? I got water there once. Bottle of water because I was dying of thirst. It was like $5. I was like, this is the last time. You're lucky I'm thirsty.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
$5.
They because I
couldn't even get nachos.
My friend Vidya, she was a manager at a theater in Manhattan, and so she used to get me in for free all the time. And you know, like I guess you know, once again, it's New York City. When I think about theaters, you know, there's you're renting your space in the city, you know, so you kind of have to get expensive with the with popcorn and stuff like that.
Even just to like probably break even.
But that's the funny thing is that like because I used to know like. If you worked in a movie theater and you don't mind like stale popcorn because they're gonna throw it out anyway, so like, you could come home with like garbage bags full of popcorn, as long as you snuck it out the back because the corporate doesn't. Corporate makes you throw it out.
Okay.
Oh my God, she not stole. Well, she doesn't work there anymore. So
yeah,
like I said,
so she did.
She used to bring home all like the standees like for the movies and stuff like that, which. Like,
they're gonna throw it out.
Yeah, they're gonna throw it out anyway. So, like nowadays, the beauty of eBay and stuff like that, she could have made a fortune selling them. Well, no, but I'm just saying, you know, people would pay big money for a standee. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I would, I would pay for like a Star Wars standee, and you know, like right now they were just recently promoting like the 3D movies.
Right.
And, you know, and they have, you know, this big giant, because I can't remember the last time I went to the movies, but they had like a Star Wars 3D standee, where, and the funny thing was it actually had the face cut out, so like you could stand and like, they have like a Jedi holding it's supposed to be Qui-Gon Jinn, and I know that only because I'm such a big fan, but you could stand there and put your face in the hole, so you could look like you're Qui-Gon Jinn holding a lightsaber.
You love that shit.
Oh, I love it, and you know I took a picture. You know I gave my phone to somebody and said, take a picture of me.
And what is with 3D? Because I've seen a couple 3D movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not that impressive. Like, there are some things where it's like, ooh, but it's not worth.
Well, like,
worth it. I think
the only movie I've seen so far in 3D was Transformers 3.
Okay,
you know, and
so maybe that one was worth it. Like something action.
Yeah, that's the whole thing is that like I don't understand now. Like these, like animated movies,
right?
Like How to Train Your Dragon, stuff like that. Now, I haven't, like I said, I haven't had a chance to see any of these movies in the theater. I've seen them like on DVD and stuff like that.
Okay.
But like I said, the only movie I saw in 3D. Now, an animated movie,
probably
that's the perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, you know, because it's computer generated.
It's made for it.
It's made for it. You know, I can only I've yet to go to an animated movie, but I can only imagine a movie like How to Train Your Dragon or Rango or Rio or anything, you know,
like they had Titanic 3D, like that. Movies what are you gonna do with that?
Well, that's the whole thing is that like, and that's like that's the worst case scenario because now they're manufacturing 3D.
Yeah,
that was made before, so now they're shifting. They're shifting everything in the movie to make it because the whole premise of 3D is that you have two cameras, and the two cameras are just far apart enough that the length our eyes are apart.
Okay,
so when you
So
see
that's
the
how they
two
film
different
it, is two
pictures,
cameras next to each other.
it's like that's kind of like the basis of the
Basis,
technology.
okay.
And
Break
so,
it down for dummies like me.
well, yeah, that's the whole thing. So when they actually film a movie in 3D, which nowadays pretty much any of those movies that are being filmed, portion of it is reality, the other portion is CG. So the other, when they're making a CG, they actually have to make two CGs.
Okay.
Here's Optimus Prime. Here's Optimus Prime at a 0.15 degree angle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the way we would perceive it in our head, one eye sees one picture, the other eye sees the other, and it combines in our brain to look 3D.
That's cool.
And it's like, and once again,
the history of 3D stuff.
Now, like a movie like Transformers or these other any movie is action and stuff like that.
That would be cool.
That's
like stuff jumping out at you.
Yeah, but let me tell you, and I went to go see Star Wars 3. I loved it. I'm a big Star Wars
Who
fan.
would have thought? Did you go to the theater?
I saw in the theater with 3D. Actually, still have the 3D glasses. You're supposed to throw them
Throw them
out.
like they get reused.
I held on to them.
Get
So
a pink eye from somebody else. To reuse.
these things are greasy.
Ew.
I'm not putting these fucking things on. And so by the time the movie was over, I felt like I just finished a boxing match.
Really?
Because there's so much action with the 3D.
Yeah.
Like your mind is processing all that. I guess maybe because through years and years and years, our brains, you could sit
got
there and watch a
accustomed
2-hour
to
movie,
it,
not
yeah.
a problem.
Right.
2.5 hours of 3D.
Of this action 3D
And then, and
coming
not to
at
mention,
ya.
a movie like that, and particular movie like that, where it's a lot of action. By the time the movie was over, I was physically exhausted,
Right.
As if I was the one jumping off of buildings and flying in airplanes and stuff like that.
A movie that I actually saw in the theater. You ever seen Fighter? It was with Mark Wahlberg, and it's a true story. Mark Wahlberg and what is his name?
Oh, is that the guy? Jesus
God,
Christ!
I know. What is his name?
That his brother is it his brother's like
Yeah,
a junkie, but
yeah,
his brother
yeah.
was. Oh, it's Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, yes.
Who played
now
that?
movie I saw in theater, and during the fight scene at the end, I was so tensed up. Like that was a movie where I was actually like, wow, like really into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Was that in 3D?
no,
Oh, okay.
that was just regular, and I was like, whoa. I was like, who's gonna win? Like it was so good at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Now those are like something that you could see maybe 3D, but it's not animated, so it's iffy.
And that's the whole thing is that
So it might suck as 3D, it might be okay as it is.
That's obviously, I mean, they're not going to make a romantic comedy
Right.
in 3D. They're not going to make. I can't even think of a Friends
Notebook.
with Benefits
The Notebook
in 3D. Now I guess no. What am I saying? The Titanic. There's a
That's what
it's
I'm
not
saying.
it's not a comedy, but it's it's a romance.
Yeah, like what was going to be popping out at you?
Well, see, the
The
last
boat?
45 minutes
Yeah,
of the movie
the boat
is
going to
be.
be
And it's
coming
like,
at you. I didn't know if they were going to do an alternate ending and the boat doesn't even sink, and then everybody's good.
is this so they can make a
Right?
sequel?
Yeah.
This movie made too much money for them not to be a part 2, so we're going to make it a happy ending.
They live together. It's so great.
And once again, the nerdiness of me. There was this astrophysicist.
It doesn't end,
This this astrophysicist actually. I forgot his name. His last name is Tyson. He's a black guy, and he's a real famous. Actually, he's the guy that actually promoted that they get rid of Pluto. They don't call Pluto a planet anymore.
Right.
So he was
Sorry, Pluto. Rest in peace.
that guy, and I can't believe I forgot his first name. But like I said, his last name is Tyson. He wrote a letter to James Cameron and said that
The stars.
the stars
right?
were it wasn't in the right position.
right at the end when they're
Like
basically dying in the water, and she looks up at the sky. I think they're all in the water at the end.
yeah, they're in the water.
And there's it's like a 2 minute, not 2 minutes, like a 2 second scene.
Yeah,
where she's just
because
they
I
just
mean I
show
don't know
the
if
sky.
it's when she's on the door
That door, yeah.
or when she's an old lady and she's throwing the
either way, it's like
spoiler alert when she's throwing the
the
necklace
heart
in the
of
water.
the ocean.
And
Spoiler alert.
and yeah
It's literally like
he complained and said that
That's
for that
not how the-
for that part of the planet, for that year, for that time of year, that's
not
the
how
wrong
the
concept.
stars, yeah.
And so James Cameron actually went back.
he spent a lot of money.
To
change it for, like-
I mean, he says it, and then his
Right.
his little crew of trained monkeys go and do it. But
That's
you know,
not true. He did it.
well, and that's
free.
and they actually fixed it, and you
Like,
got
who noticed it? Literally, like
well,
a
I
2
guess
seconds.
astrophysicists
I
noticed.
guess you would pause it and make sure it was okay.
Yeah, well, but I guess it goes with everything, like
Pluto was
the box.
probably.
Pluto
featured
should not
in
have
it.
been.
Yeah.
Well,
Pluto
I mean,
should not have been in it.
like you mentioned earlier, the boxer. I mean, I guess if you had a guy who really is a boxer. Now, you're watching that scene excited.
Yeah,
He could
like I was
now-
so tense.
But, like, let's just say there was a guy who's, like, a professional fighter
Right.
watching that scene and going, oh, that would never happen.
Right, yeah.
You know, that would never... So I guess,
would
you know,
complain,
to the
yeah.
right person, you know, if you look at something the wrong way, you're like, yeah, right. Well,
Like, especially if you notice it right away, you're like, that's bullshit.
like, growing up in New York City, you watch, you know, there's there's a million movies based in New York City.
Right.
And you see a character where they're walking down the street and they're passing by one landmark, and then the next scene, they're at another landmark,
Right.
which for people who live in New York City know, that guy
That
just
is not
went
right there.
12 miles in 2 minutes or 30 seconds because, like, in particular, like, Spider-Man. And, you know, and I love Spider-Man 1. You know, but
Which
this
one-
isn't,
who's this with?
the first one with
Toby?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Okay, I saw that one.
And like he's chasing a guy, and the guy's driving in a car, and it's the guy that killed his uncle and robbed the money,
yeah.
and he's in a car. So basically, they're up by like the New York Public Library.
is huge.
When he just starts chasing guys, like New York Public Library, which, and I should know this off the top of my head. Let's just say it's like Park Avenue and whatever 50th Street or whatever. And then
Probably like Grand Central, isn't it? Not too far. Bryant Park. Is that the New York Public Library?
no, well, it's, if I'm not mistaken, a little more north and a little bit more east.
So on Park Avenue.
But then 2 seconds later, they're all the way down in the most southernmost tip of Manhattan, which is the South Street
Yeah.
Seaport. They're in the seaport 2 seconds later.
Way down the line.
And, like,
That's
you know-
15 minutes in a cab.
Yeah, I wish traffic moved that smoothly in Manhattan, where I can get from the New York Public Library to the South Street Seaport in the
Cabs
time
don't
it takes
make
from one
any
scene
money.
to get to the next. Because I doubt Spider-Man was on the roof of this cab for 45 minutes. Because if he is, he's the worst superhero ever. You know,
Get
and
there in record time.
and you watch, you watch these movies, and like, these people, don't get me wrong, they're, New York is this beautiful, beautiful city, and you watch it, and so I guess I can relate to the
Right.
astrophysicist where people
Mr. Pluto.
he's so, I guess a guy like him, he could look at the sky and go,
That's messed up.
yeah, he go, nah, wait, this is supposed to be between New York and England. This is, this is in the northern hemisphere at, in
2 a.m. in the morning?
in May? No, it's not. That's cancellation. So and it's the same thing like me. Like I said,
Right.
like I could watch a New York movie and go, this asshole did not go 3 miles
But
in
would
2
you
seconds.
contact the director?
Well, he's one of those guys. He's famous. I mean, like, he's the guy that got
He took away
Pluto bumped. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of,
We have 8
he's
planets
he's
now,
a
folks.
rock star. He's a rock star.
In the astrology
physicist.
world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been on Big Bang Theory.
Right.
He's I've seen him give lectures on like YouTube and stuff like that, and so yeah, I think I've seen him do like a TED. You ever watch a TED things, or it's like
No.
there's a big conference called TED.
Okay.
and it's all like, the funny thing is like they do have idiots sometimes, but it's pretty much like like every
Just for fun.
brilliant person on the planet has done a TED presentation, and like
Okay.
they give you like, there's no such thing as a TED presentation going over 18 minutes, and you could talk about like anything you
Anything?
like, but it's always like world changing
Of course.
shit. But yeah, so
What's
I mean,
his name was just on Big Bang?
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking, right?
Well, and it was Stephen Hawking, Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. They've had a bunch of people on there.
Yeah, it's a
They didn't have Mr. Pluto, though.
No, he was on it.
He was?
He was on an
Nice.
episode
Oh,
of.
you
of-
did just say
of
that.
he was on an episode. Of course, it's all like cameos and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it's like,
Stephen Hawking's, I heard, not too long ago.
It was
he
by-
was in the strip club. They said that he goes to the strip club.
you're talking about in real life, or
Yeah, in real life.
Well, no. Well, yeah, I've seen a picture of
People were
Stephen
like-
Hawking. It was obviously poolside at some hotel, with 2 very, very young, attractive women next to him, in bikinis.
Yeah, people were criticizing him. It was like, if you
He's
got
a
the money
man.
and
He's a man.
you can do that, let him do it.
He may not be able to feel it,
Right, let him watch.
and
He's got to type out everything.
but he's divorced.
Really?
Yeah, so like, imagine how bad of a wife do you have to
Right.
be?
I'm just gonna leave you now.
Yeah, I am leaving you.
See ya,
I can't live like this.
Dunzo.
LOL. No, and
Kiss
because
my ass, bitch.
he has I forgot the name of his degenerative disease, but if I'm not mistaken, it's the same
Yeah.
as like Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh, is it? I don't know what it is.
And like so like in the 50s and 60s, he was up on his feet. I mean,
Right.
I've seen a documentary where they have like the stock footage of him, walking around and going to like Oxford University and stuff like that.
When did he start getting real bad?
I'll probably say like 20 years ago.
Because I was going to say, I've only really seen him ever in the chair there in his little computer.
Yeah, no, he actually, I think when he was still in college, and just out of college, he was all right. And then like in his 30s or something, he started to get and like I said, it's the same as like Lou Gehrig's disease, where it's a degenerative disease, where, and all these people, like, they're saying, thank goodness he has the computer, because if this was, 100 years ago, they would have written him up. No, he was a genius before all this shit happened. He was, he went to Oxford. He was a professor.
Was it just because of the computer that he had? And
yeah, I mean, I understand.
It just came upon him.
He had a lot more time on his hand to think about things now. But it's it's like that episode of Seinfeld where George decides to stop having sex. Have you seen it? And then like he solves the Rubik's Cube in like 2 seconds. He's not having sex. He's not. He's not trying to
reading books,
take care of business, stuff like that. So he has time to think. And like I said, this guy, people, they don't understand that he was a brilliant gentleman before the disease hit him. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it took it knocked him, knocked his physical body for a loop. But
he was a genius before. And I say he can go hang out with strippers.
Yeah.
You got money and you're brilliant, go for it. Do what you want.
It's his
prerogative,
research and his stuff that has changed the way we think about,
Let him party.
Yeah, go ahead. He could, for the rest of his life.
Oh, baby.
He could, for the rest of his life, be a total freaking loser, slacker, and hold the bong up to my mouth,
He's already accomplished much more than I will ever.
Leave the guy alone. You know what I'm saying? Let him go to a strip club. You know what I'm saying? But he's a man. He's a man first. Men first. You go to a strip club. You go.
That's
have
what you
fun.
guys do all day.
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, I haven't been to a strip club in a couple of years. No, but like I would say, well, it was when I was, I would say 1999.
How were the girls done?
Oh boy. And I was living just south of Philadelphia. I was living in this place called, it was Delaware County, and it was a little town called Sharon Hill. But I used to drive into, well, no, my favorite club actually wasn't in Philadelphia. It was a place called the Purple Orchid.
Sounds beautiful.
Purple Orchid. And, and...
Sounds like a great establishment.
Oh my God, well, shit, even before, like, in New York City, I was going to strip clubs before I was even drinking age. Cause,
you could get in though, right?
No, that's the whole thing.
What's the age?
No, it's 21 because they serve alcohol.
Some do and some don't.
Well, up here, I've noticed like in Pennsylvania, and I think here in Rochester, there are places where they don't serve alcohol.
But
they serve
news,
juice.
Right? Yeah,
but
juice bar.
They have a juice. Now, mind you, they're charging you $5 for a fucking cup of orange juice.
Right.
They're charging you alcohol prices.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't serve alcohol, the girls could get all nude.
Right. That's the deal.
And
so if you like juice and naked women, it's perfect.
Well, some places. I mean, I know in Pennsylvania, even though they can't serve alcohol, you can bring your own. You can
nice
bring
bottle of Merlot.
You can bring fine wine.
Need a bottle opener, please.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while Destiny does a split 3 inches away from your face without a bottom on.
At her.
But you could. I went to a place in Pennsylvania where the policy was they now you still had to. You.
What's the rule?
You had to pay. It was a $10 cover charge.
Jeez.
Yeah, just to walk in the door. Of course, they got to make their money somehow.
I thought they were making it on the juice.
And then, it was like a $10 cover charge, and actually no, excuse me, it was $20. It was
just to walk in.
It was $20 to walk in, but then they gave you 2 drink tickets.
Oh, okay. For the juice,
$5 a piece.
You got a lot of vitamin C.
And if you wanted more. And the funny thing is, I mean, you already paid for them, so I would go. And then, of course, the girls, because there were actual waitresses in the place, so the waitresses would come and, let's just say you wanted to be totally cheap. They still want you to spend those tickets because then when they bring you to drink, they expect you to tip them.
Oh, of course.
So
you
that's
always got to tip.
And so they allowed you to bring your own alcohol in there.
That's
cool.
So
you see guys coming in with a freaking cooler and stuff like that.
I'm ready.
So,
I'm surprised they would let you bring in a cooler. Like, that seems excessive, and they would put a stop to that. But
I guess luckily, I guess that place probably didn't have a riot in it because as soon as some knuckleheads fuck it up, I'm pretty sure they would have changed their policy.
Do you think they had they made a great profit if all these people were bringing in?
Well, you're making $20 a head. You know what I'm saying? True. 5 guys is $100. They
had to make some profit somewhere.
And the girls are making money on the tips. Now the funny thing is when they have a G-string, at least they have the place to put the money. When they're naked, they kind of have to carry the money in their hand.
Well, where do you slip it? Do you just
You kind of just hand it to
Hand it
them.
to 'em.
You know, my favorite
you don't
one.
want to give them a paper cut anymore?
No, my favorite was holding the bill between my teeth, and they would like use their tits and then.
Oh, that sounds sexy.
and pull it.
That
Hey,
sounds
I'm a
so
titty
much
man.
fun, right?
I'm a titty man. Some guys are ass men. Some guys are legs
Have
men.
you ever
I'm a
been to
titty man.
the, what is it around here? The Classy Cat?
I haven't-
Spelled with a K?
Classy. Anybody who calls himself classy isn't.
But spell it with a K
And
is
it's-
better.
I mean, like I grew up like,
The Classy Cat.
you know, anybody who says if you say the word classy,
Right.
you're not classy. You
I'm
know what I'm saying?
classy.
You know, if you
I'm classy, not trashy. That's what they always say.
if you have to declare yourself classy, you ain't. And
On a big sign that you're not.
yeah, and so I haven't been to the Classy Cat. I have been to
You see, let's see what's wrong.
There's
the
another-
Mirage. That I think closed.
the Mirage.
actually.
Yeah, I think I went to the Mirage before it shut down.
That used to be back in the day when, like, you know, Kodak's right down the street. So, like, on their lunch breaks, this is when they wouldn't get in trouble if they had a few drinks on lunch back in the day. They used to go to the Mirage on lunch break and then go back to work.
You know, the place I went to a bunch of times, there was a strip club across the street from the World Trade Center.
Oh,
the
perfect,
Pink Pussycat.
see?
And the guys would go there.
It's
and,
perfect location
you
for
know,
those
and,
big places.
and the fun, you know, like they were one of the places that were like, I mean, you know, I'm not trying to make a joke about it, but after the World Trade Center, they had to be shut down for a couple of months because there was fucking debris in the streets.
Right.
People couldn't get to work, and you know,
couldn't get to the
strippers
strip
were
club.
affected by 9/11.
And you just think Wall Street was affected, strippers were affected on 9/11.
you know, and then think about
Support
it.
your local stripper.
Well, keep in mind that, you know, Ground Zero was a stone's throw away from Wall Street. You know,
Right.
there were guys with money going to
Yeah.
that place, and you know, so you know, we forget about the small people
I
and
know.
tragedies
Forget
like
about
this.
the little people.
But
And if you're being a stripper, if you're working as a stripper, you obviously don't have a good home life and you need the job. You can't collect unemployment. I don't know if you can. I'm sure you can get away with it somehow.
I support single moms.
Right. And I just heard recently, actually I read it today,
Mm-hmm.
that Charlie Sheen was suing a strip club. I think it was like the Cheetah Club in New York City.
Uh-huh.
But I think it got dropped because one of the rooms, at VIP rooms, they named it after Charlie Sheen,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't like it because they put like sushi on the girls, like on certain areas, and then they eat it off, whatever, and he didn't like that whole thing.
Wow.
So now they took the name off. Why
That's
he's
a-
upset about that, I do not
Yeah,
know.
I mean, of all
it's a VIP, of all people,
The last person I think, see now,
to be upset about
I
the
think like
strip
the last
club.
episode, I was singing his praises, calling him a real man.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be upset because they're using your name
For a
to-
stripper
for-
VIP room.
for a place where they're gonna serve sushi on a naked
healthy
woman's
snack.
body,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I don't
you're
know
a
what the-
whiny bitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what the real. Maybe because they were just using his name.
Well, I mean,
without letting
I would
know.
be more offended. Yeah, I would be more offended, or at least like, look, if you're going to use my name, then I should be able to walk in this club and
Right.
not spend a dime and have a good time. You know,
And
I should
let
be able
me
to come
set
in.
up how the room's gonna be.
Yeah, you know,
if he's offended about the sushi, change.
You know, let me come into this place with 10 of my friends.
Yeah.
Where if you want to
And-
comp us everything.
We're gonna spend nothing.
Yeah.
So yes, it was probably because they used his name without telling him.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I
that
don't
I
think
get.
it was all about the sushi.
Because you are using. If it's just about his name, then I get that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'll say, look, okay, fine.
But who wants like a fishy snack on your crotch there?
Well, I've never.
Nice,
I
healthy
would do
strip
it though.
club.
I would. Well, I wouldn't. One thing I learned: you don't eat strip club food. You don't. Strip
might be
club-
sick for
It's
a
not
while.
exactly the bastion of cleanliness and. But
How
I
did
would.
you learn that? It must have been an incident.
Well, in the Purple Orchid. Well, no, because
In the Purple
Purple
Orchid.
Orchid. Because, all right, in Pennsylvania.
You could bring your own food too.
Well, in Pennsylvania, the bars closed at 2:00 in the morning,
All right.
but they reopened at 6:00 in the morning.
Oh, so you had time to recoup.
So I used to work out there. I worked in the prison, and so we used to get out of work at 8:00 in the morning.
Oh.
So we used to get out at 8, go to the bar. Now, mind you, I mean, for people, how could you go drink at 8:00 in the morning? That's my
like you
that's
after
my
work,
5:00
yeah.
in the afternoon.
That's your happy hour.
Yeah, that's my afternoon, 8:00 in the morning. So we would go. We would go.
Because they're going to school.
Yeah. And we would start drinking. Now, the cool thing was, like, this place was literally down the road from the prison, where
Of course it was.
it was a bar that was next door to a diner.
Oh,
And it was
perfect.
all owned by the same people. So
Okay.
the waitress used to come over from the diner, and I would order. So I'm drinking eggs. I'm drinking beer and eating an omelet at 8:00 in the morning.
Nice.
So we
They
would.
spoiled you there.
Oh, it was great because, hey, my money's green as anybody else.
Right.
If I want to drink and have eggs, God bless America.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking drink and have eggs. So, like I said, the waitress used to come over to the bar, and it was like there was a mutual door.
Yeah.
Like she didn't even have to go outside, and
That's cool.
You know, so I mean, a lot of bars have a kitchen. You know, get your wings and stuff like that. But this one, you know, you had their kitchen was the full-fledged diner kitchen. So so start drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning as soon as you got out of work. And then the strip club opened at 11.
Cha-ching!
So, you know...
Especially on payday.
From 8 to 11 in the morning, mind you. Getting drunk as a skunk. Then driving to the strip club. Now, that's the worst feeling in the world when you walk out of that bar and that sun hits you. That 11 o'clock in the morning sun after you've been drinking for 3 hours. Because at least when you're getting out of work, you're not drunk at work.
Right.
And then, you know, you would go to the strip
Gotta
club.
wear sunglasses.
And, oh my God. And let me tell you, at that time, I was about 350 pounds. My nickname at the strip club was Tiny. They called me.
Was it Porkins or whatever?
And the DJ used to see us. His name was, oh boy. I think his name was like Tyler. He had some like really waspy name.
DJ Tyler.
DJ Tyler. Which, I mean, you know.
Mr. Tyler.
So hey, it's Tiny. Hey, Tiny, how you doing? I had my own place. I used to sit.
Nice.
Like, I had my own chair. Because we used to go there all the time.
Yeah.
Because, well, see, I mean, I was kind of talking about earlier, I used to go to strip clubs in Brooklyn. Manhattan, the strip clubs in Manhattan were just way too expensive. I used to go to strip clubs in Brooklyn. And then when I moved down to Pennsylvania, I was used to New York City strip clubs they played hip hop and dance music. Yeah. You know, when I went to Pennsylvania, these girls played Metallica. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
Me being a Metallica fan. Oh my God. And then plus once
you had beer,
breakfast. Beer, breakfast, and Metallica with titties. Come on.
Must have been
God bless America. and so you know, and then the funny thing is that you know, the girls who worked there liked Metallica. So
did they have tattoos as well?
Yeah, some of the girls had tattoos and stuff like that.
Nothing crazy.
And then because I used to tip well, because at that time I was single, so
making it rain in the
not that much, but you know, the girls would come and now mind you, when you go into a fucking strip club at 11 o'clock in the morning, it's not like it's full blown party. You know, the girls would sometimes we'd be the only guys in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was just you.
The girl would go up and dance, and then come down and actually sit and talk with us. And you know, and you know, it was
like
a whole
real human,
like a human being, not like a piece of meat swinging from a pole.
Weird.
You know,
is there any like?
Did you know strippers are people too?
That is so crazy.
They have problems.
Yeah, they have issues and stuff just like us. They're trying to make them money. Crazy.
And so we would do that. And like I said, at the time I was single. I was a big fat guy with no girlfriend. You know, so I was perfect for this. So Purple Orchid used to serve food. So I would have my breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning. After about 3 hours of drinking, I want chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? You want, you know,
like bar food type thing.
It was bar food, but I mean, you know, they'd have like the big aluminum trays with the little that little puck, that little silver puck that had the like to keep it heated.
Oh,
what the hell they call that?
I don't know what it's called.
But you know what I mean. You know, they had that whole setup where, you know, they had the little heated, and you know, you would eat them. But then like, see now okay. Keep in mind.
Talk about like.
Here's Tiny in the strip club. But see,
Tiny.
I don't mind being as soon as the tray comes out, fine, I'll grab a couple.
After it's been
you see some of those sketchy guys dipping their hand in the same plate, and it's warm chicken sauce. Mm-hmm. You know, like the grease.
Brewing.
Oh, that's I'm surprised we don't have a contagion. I'm surprised we don't have
you
outbreak.
Probably like built your immune system up so much. And you can fight off anything now because of Purple Orchid.
The Purple, and let me tell you, and I love that place, and I went there all the fucking time. I don't even know if it's still there anymore.
I was going to say, do you think it's still open?
If it is, God bless America.
Sounds like they're running a good deal.
Oh yeah, so I mean, you know, we used to get out at 8, start drinking at 8, at 11 o'clock over to the strip club, you know, and then I'd get home 1 or 2, then, you know, as long as I'm asleep by like 4 and slept till 11, like 4 to 11, that's 8 hours sleep. You know, I could still, now mind you, you know, thank God I didn't kill anybody or smash my car. You know, 11 o'clock, 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I've been drinking since 8 o'clock in the morning, had titties,
they're getting out of school.
Chicken wings, you know, so, you know, it's...
Was it real populated there, or was it like a no man's land?
Well, where I lived, there was it was pretty rural, you know, suburban. Because when I lived, you know, once again, I'm coming from New York City. You know, anything that doesn't have, you know, anything that's not a giant building with 21 stories, you know, is country to me.
Was it Amish land?
No, no. It was blue collar. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I lived in this little complex. Now the funny thing is, you know I speak with a New York accent. I know that I carry that around. and
They love it.
me and my buddy moved in, and okay, so it was one of those things where it's like 4 apartments, it'd be like 4 apartments like huddled over each other, like
Okay.
you know, you have
Yeah.
two apartments on the first floor, 2 apartments on the
Yeah.
second floor, and it would kind of be like a whole big house. So that's where we lived.
Okay.
But it was like a line of them.
Okay.
You know, so me and my buddy moved in, and we moved upstairs. And a week after we move in, our neighbors downstairs get their car stolen.
That's awful.
And so you know the guy, the
Welcome home.
father was the nicest guy to us. Now, of
Yeah.
course, that was a part of Pennsylvania that it still blows my mind for anybody who lives anywhere. And I lock my doors. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I live, I mean,
Some
where
places they don't like.
yeah, so they
Country.
not only do they not lock their doors, they don't lock the doors on their car. And
trustworthy.
and I know there's people here in Rochester that do it. I mean,
Yeah.
I've walked into, I've gone into like a Wilson Farms, which
I've
is,
walked into many people's houses. No.
well, no, but I'm saying is like, I've seen people leave their keys in the car with
Yeah.
the car running and stuff like that.
No way would I do that.
You
don't know who's
as soon as I
around.
get out of my car, I lock the door. As soon as I get in
Yeah.
my house, I lock the door. The only time my door is like even propped open at all is like if I'm taking groceries out of my car
Yeah.
and putting it in the house. It blew my mind. So, and then the shit that I really don't understand are the people who leave their cars with the windows rolled down. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get the convenience of it, but if it starts raining, you
Yeah.
got to run outside. It's and then plus at least if your windows are rolled up.
Especially a convertible when they got the roof
Well,
down.
I'm just saying is if anybody approaches your car and pulls on the door with the windows rolled up, that's someone looking for trouble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because for all intents and purposes, they don't. If the windows are up and the door's not locked but closed,
Yeah.
you're not inviting trouble.
Yeah.
If you're leaving your windows open, that's basically saying, hey, look,
come
you
over
can
here.
just,
Especially now with I know they had trouble and they probably still do with the Easy Passes or GPS. If they see that in your car, they break a window and
yeah, they'll take it.
Even if they see the suction there, they're like, I know it's in there.
Yeah.
They just break open your window and take it. And then
I mean,
that's it.
thank God GPSs have gotten cheaper,
Right,
So
but
people don't do
before
it
when it
anymore.
first
Yeah,
came
when it first
out-
came out, yeah, they were fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And one thing that's still that's still expensive is stealing airbags. That's like people
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
steal airbags. That's big fucking money.
My favorite is when they take all the tires and then you come back to your car.
Well, I had my car broken into. I would say about 2 years ago, and about a day before I got my car broken into, I had there was a sketchy. I was giving a ride to this guy who was basically the boyfriend of the girl I was seeing at the time.
Cousin's uncle's friend.
Yeah, it was her friend's boyfriend who was a sketchy guy.
Uh-huh.
And then, like a day later, my car gets broken into. Now, at the time,
Did you just meet him?
I just met him,
Oh,
and so of course where I parked, I was off. I wasn't in the street. I was
Okay.
parked behind, and I parked with all my other neighbors. You know what I'm saying? My car was the only one broken into, and
Yeah.
they stole my stereo, they stole my iPod. I think at that particular time, I generally don't keep my I shouldn't have kept my iPod in the car.
Yeah.
But I had my digital camera, and they stole.
Anything electronic.
They
pretty
stole
much.
everything out of my car, and then like
Was he in
they-
your car beforehand?
no, that's the whole thing. Is that no? Because he, I'm saying I
Like,
was
where
giving
you
him a
were to
ride,
Oh,
and
okay.
I was giving him a ride somewhere. Well, actually, I was doing a favor for the girl I was seeing at the time. I was
Yeah.
doing her friend a favor,
Her friend, yeah.
and her friend was like, "Oh, could you give me a ride here?" But here's my boyfriend. My boyfriend's with me, and this guy, guy doesn't have a job, doesn't, never will
So
have a
he
job.
saw, all the stuff
He
you
saw
had
the
in
shit
your-
that I had, and as a matter of fact, actually, before he even got in the car, he was like, he gave me a CD so I can play in my stereo. So, and mind you, I usually listen to heavy metal, rock and roll. He gave me a CD with hip hop.
I was gonna say rap,
So
yeah.
I think
Hip-hop.
I'm wondering if even if maybe that was kind of like a test to see what kind of system
Soft-
I
yeah,
had.
system.
If
Did
I had
he
a
take
good.
that? The
He didn't take the speakers, but he stole my car stereo.
stereo.
He stole my stereo. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
now you gotta wonder what that was all about.
yeah, my stereo, my iPod, my digital camera.
Did you ever see him again?
And I've seen him plenty of times after that, but I don't have any proof, so I
Right.
can't say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Just
But I know
search
he
his
fucking-
house or something.
Yeah,
I know it's all
I didn't
too,
give him any fucking right after that.
all too coincidental.
And then the girl I was seeing at the time, let's go see my friend, and we'd go to the house, and he's sitting right there. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a job.
Right.
He sold drugs and shit like that, and it was
Well, that's a job. He's an entrepreneur. All right? Self-management.
Well, Jesus Christ, we're coming up on the hour.
That's it, folks.
And so, wow.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Once again, I'm going to do a little more pimping.
Here he goes. Everybody listen.
For all my Australian buddies and people from England and Canada and, of course, the people in the good old United States, You can visit www.doublejackpot.us. I'm selling my book. It's a self-published book. It's called Double Jackpot. You can order it there. Right now it's on sale. Generally goes for $15. It's on sale right now for $14.25. Of course, I'm saying this on May 1st. I may change it back. So, okay, on that page, there are links to this podcast. If you forgot how to get here, there are links to, or if you got this podcast or other information, you can visit www.doublejackpot.us. Links to the podcast, links to my eBay, because hey, this stuff ain't cheap and it ain't free. So you know,
It's got a lot of good stuff.
Buy a comic book, buy a video game, buy something. If you really want to support our show, buy something. There's links to our Twitter page. So if you have any questions or comments, or if there's something you want to tell us about the show, you can
Something you want to talk about, anything.
We're at Comic Metal Games, all one word, Comic Metal Games with an S at the end. But once again, the link for that's on the page. There's a link to my my Big Bang Theory script that I wrote as a goof. So once again, thank you for listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristen. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Don't forget to check out www.doublejackpot.us for links to the novel Double Jackpot, written by Christopher Cologne. Also check out the link to their eBay auctions for comic books, video games, and heavy metal memorabilia.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double
it?
Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne smells good to me.
But
Look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
but it is spelled C-O-L-O-N.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the Double Jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
Yeah, it
man.
is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show. I assure you, sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. like a fucking a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on, I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know, you're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonePodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonePodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.